Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Thief 2 Shadows of the Metal Age, Blind. I'm here in the vicinity of the Hammerite Cathedral. The game wants me to break in, and I am afraid I will have to. Although, as I said in the previous episode, I think it's pretty contrived and doesn't actually make that much sense. Before I do that though, I'm pretty interested in this. Like, this seemingly requires a key as opposed to being openable with a lockpick. But there is also this window here, which maybe there's a switch. It doesn't look like it. There's also this, which is kind of suspicious to me. Because again, this is a window that I can see through, so it stands to reason that maybe something could be accomplished here. I don't think this helps me very much. Or at all. But surely this is pretty significant. Maybe I can blow the door up. It seems like a pretty extreme solution if you ask me, but I am also pretty curious. Huh. Okay. Cool. And this, by the way, seems to serve as a side entrance to the Hammerite Cathedral, because there's like a pipe that goes across the street. Indeed, right here. And rather conveniently, it leads straight into a hole in the roof. Okay, so I guess I'm somewhere in the second floor, or maybe even like the attic. Okay, so this requires a key as well.
Ah, thine grace hath expired! Let my spikes find thee! Ugh, a lucky shot! Ugh, thou shalt not do that again! Ugh, a lucky shot! My spikes shall find thee!
Well, that wasn't that wasn't really not well done. He has a key though, which might very well be the key to this very door.
Why are they always treating me? Oh. Allow me to take your shift, brother. Just because I am the oldest does not mean that I should be coddled.
Note to self, Brother Horman has not yet returned my favorite hammer. What is wrong with the man? Has he no sense of decency? Why must I be forced to endure these placid, cow-like simpletons? This is absurd. I shall speak with him on the morrow and expound the virtues of timely returns. Idiots. Observing the young acolytes at dinner tonight, I noticed several of them using large forks for salad and the small forks for the main meal. And not that the food was worth eating, mind you, but why are they not being instructed in table manners? Our scholars reveal their growing incompetence by the day. Am I the only brother observant enough to notice the gaping disrepair in the western roof of the sanctuary belfries? Builder B, the rain, sleet and snow pour in day after day, with not a hint of concern from the priests and the acolytes. I was reading up yesterday and I fear I may now be catching an ill breath from the wind that constantly buffeted my studies. Loafers. I have told Quartermaster Samuel once? What? If I have told Quartermaster Samuel once, I have told him 80 times. I wear briefs, not boxers, yet every week when my garments are returned and washed and pressed, I find the same baggy and chaff-inducing boxer shorts, riding proudly atop the pile. Is the man really so dense? I want to have a word with him, but I find his quarters locked up tight. I shall lodge a complaint within the week. Okay, that last part is a little bit weird. It seems rather anachronistic well, I have to admit, I know very little about how historical underwear developed, but I'm pretty sure the terms themselves, you know, boxers and briefs, are pretty modern, so definitely seems weird. Okay, let me try something.
Did I hear something? Ow! Oh! I shall. Ow!
Okay, so it didn't work. I should have just left him asleep.
Oh! Ow!
Oh, I guess it kinda worked. What's the point of this room? And is this wood? I don't think so. I think it has rivets, so I think it's actually metal. Indeed. Okay, there's literally a ladder here and I just didn't see it. I'm kind of stupid. Now sound not the bell, lest thou would hear of it. Strike not the anvil, lest thou have a reason for it. Of the hammer of verse 4. Okay, so this is the bell tower, I guess. Okay. And I can't ring the bell, even if I wanted to. Although something tells me I might be required to later in the mission, because, you know, why even design this room? Other than, I guess, for flavor. Strong is the hammer wielded in solitude. Stronger yet is the hammer raised and struck for a righteous cause. I must say, I do kind of like the Hammerites. Like, I think, if anything, the lore is a little bit imbalanced, because the god of the pagans literally tried to kill you and destroy like half of the world by you know, submerging it in everlasting chaos forever in Thief 1. Whereas the Hammerites, you know, they are sort of self-righteous pricks, but in the end, they kind of stand for things that I personally admire, which is, you know, law, order, progress as well. You know, all of the technological development is their doing. So however bigoted they might be sometimes, it seems they are the only ones that are even interested in moving sort of the civilization forward. And I must say, I also, the way they talk is kind of low-key like my guilty pleasure. Like this, you know, this faux ye old English that they use. I like it. And one of my favorite texts from the Hammerites is actually in Thief 3, which is this long parable about a son who goes to his father constantly and begs him for alms. He's saying things like, "Oh, father, I'm hungry," and then the father gives him, like, at first he gives him a chisel, and then after a while the son comes back and says, "Oh, but father, I cannot eat this chisel, and I cannot, like, you know, use it to gather food, and I'm still hungry, and help me." And then he gives him a hammer, and then he comes back and says, "Oh, but this hammer and chisel, you know, I still cannot eat them. I cannot, like, grow crops with them and stuff, or whatever, or, you know, so I'm still hungry." And then the father cleaves his hand and says, "The builder has granted you the fruits of thy labor, and they were not." I just love it. I might steal it actually for my book, because I'm writing about dwarves, and that seems like something like a dwarven family lesson that you could also learn, because this is a parable about you know, living by your labor. Because it's obvious that the son was expected to you know, earn a living, you know, earn food by providing you know, valuable service to the rest of the community using the tools given to him by his father. I just like it. I think it's a nice story, and generally I just find the Hammerites ultimately to be more likable than the pagans. That's not to say that they are generally nice people, but given the choice between living in the forest, you know, like a bushman savage, and worshipping a god of chaos and distraction, who wants to inflict everlasting madness, and living under a slightly authoritarian, you know, militaristic order that cares a lot about laws, but as long as you follow them, you know, you have modern comforts and technology, and the laws are generally well known to everyone, and they keep to them as well. I would choose the latter, like, every time. Okay, this key doesn't work on this, which is interesting. Okay, I think it's time to go downstairs.
Assuredly fair weather in the city this day. By the builder, the sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers. I'm. Ah! What's that meant to stop me, weakling? Ugh! A lucky shot! What's that I feel? I'm not hearing things. Builder, lead me to this source. I know thou art there.
What is that I spy over there? I shall find thee, villain. And in show thyself. I know you're hiding somewhere. Come out. Come out, I say.
Try again, foolish thief.
My brother, 'twill not be long now.
This all came from the miscalculation of the jump. Okay, so just locked. I wonder how far he walks.
Intruder!
The answer is
Try again.
pretty far, actually. But this is actually pretty doable. I just have to go to the side and wait for him to turn back. And then I'll have a chance to...
Why are they always treating me like an invalid? I'll do that for you, brother. Allow.
Okay, so the library is on the lower floor. Good to know. And the night woman said, "Give of yourself unto me, tell none, and you shall yet receive these blessings which are yours." And so the errant hammer did lay with her, and told not his brother, and told not his acolytes, and told not his superiors. Yet the night woman did brag and swing her arrogance like a club, to tell others of her grand catch, a hammer who did lay aside his vows. And for her arrogance and his folly, a mob did strike them down, righteous and commanding, and the builder was pleased. 5th Book of the Wrath, verse 7. Okay, so this is the side entrance that I saw before.
What is this I see? Sunnyport. Ha! Must be the spirits of the unsaved. Hey.
This is literally a closet. Okay. That's a fine place to stuff a body. Wait, what? I tested that key on this door and it didn't work. And seemingly it was also consumed, which is again pretty stupid, and I don't think that usually happens. Cathedral key. To whom it may concern, I am greatly dismayed at the growing lack of hammer security at the Silver Street carriage house. I have seen shady characters lurking about with increasing frequency. Just yesterday I confronted one of them myself and inquired as to his business here in Sunnyport. He simply sneered at me and suggested that I perform certain activities with myself that I can assure you are anatomically impossible. so basically I guess he told him to blow himself. Until you investigate these individuals further, you will not be receiving my substantial monthly donation for your order. I may be reached during business hours at the Foaming Dog Grill. Good day, Mr. Kelto Toll.
Sunnyport, ha! By the builder, the sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
Wait.
Dost thou hear that?
So this is actually that other side of the cathedral that I saw before. So where does this lead?
What is that? Perhaps I've been hasty.
What?
Nothing seems to disturb the builder's peace now.
Okay, I'll just stay inside for the time being. So I'm rather confused about where that is in relation to the streets that I began the game in.
They fail to understand the misery I must tolerate. It should be because grateful miscreants.
Okay, chamber pot's brown, flower pot's blue. Chamber pot's brown, flower pot's blue. Got it.
Never have I seen such foul.
Yeah, I'm rather confused.
Wicked one, I am upon thee! Hammer, try!
What was that I heard?
Wicked one, I am upon thee!
Who did make
Yeah.
that racket? Thou shalt not hide. Come out.
Halt! Why dost thou wear the garment of the mainland order? Dost thou insult thy brethren by forsaking our sacred
Put
dress?
here my blow.
What?
Dost thou expect to beat me with that?
Aha! We slay this creeper swiftly!
Okay, my plan didn't work, because I was thinking, you know,
Snow
I got
in
spotted, I might as well
Sutherland.
try to use...
Bah! 'Tis most assuredly fair weather in the city this day.
What was that I heard?
Who did make it that racket? Thou shalt not hide. Come out.
Try to use the flash bomb to take
Thou canst only remain hidden for so long.
the greatest possible number of them.
Perhaps I've been hasty. Nothing seems to disturb the builder's peace now.
I shall hammer thee back to the ground from what?
Unconscious. Okay, so I don't understand this. I guess the archers... The archers are just weaker?
Allow me to take your shivery brother.
But I don't normally allow anyone in my kitchen.
Since when is the galley such a secret? 'Tis not as if thou are cooking up poisons and potions.
Of course not. Why would I ever want to poison anyone? It's just that many of my dishes are sensitive. I must remain focused on my creations.
Sensitive? Why, just last week I didst use your mutton loaf to pry the lid from a clogged sewage tunnel. Brother Derek is said to be using yesterday's butter roll as a doorstop in his quarters. Even the rats are demanding compensation for removing the wretched scraps from the builder's house of worship.
I've been distracted by personal problems.
Not to worry, friend. The dangers I face at thy table serve only to strengthen my faith in the healing mercies of the builder.
Okay, that was a rather mighty diss.
I've already fixed it twice. I'm not fixing it again.
The kitchen.
What is that? Ah!
Kitchen mess hall. Okay. I guess this is like the pantry. Lazy is the farmer who tends not his crop. Unrighteous is the acolyte who tends not his tools. Service of the Brotherhood. Jill, in-house chief, or rather chef, I guess, which is a totally different word. Jill, tomorrow's soup will be just fine. Make sure not to overdo it. The chemical I have given you is extremely potent and will take effect within the day if mixed properly. As promised, you will receive a handsome pay rise and a promotion as well once I've taken Bishop Cavadar's place. Only keep silent until the excitement of the next few days has died down. Autumn.
I guess I'm not the only one sneaking around in this place.
So someone is trying to poison the bishop? Mess hole. training hall. Training hall again. This is the mess hall, right? Yes. Okay, I have to pause for a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Combat training. Sure. A bath and the barracks, okay. Latrine. Anyone in here? Or anything valuable down the crapper, maybe? You know, it does happen from time to time that people drop valuable things in the toilet. Okay, let's go back to the barracks before I go any further. Quartermaster Samuel. Is he dead? I guess the note will probably tell me. Yes, he is. I have remained strong. My sturdy hammer companions would not dare to complain or grumble of the stomach flu, and so neither shall I. I was able to keep down a small bit of water today, the first time all day. I can't imagine where I would have contracted such a terrible sickness. Perhaps this is the only winter. Tis only the winter weather. I shall sleep for a while, and if the illness has not subsided, I will shamefully appeal for help into town, for the hand of a healer. But for now, I must rest.
Wow, that meal certainly didn't agree with him.
I guess he must have eaten the poisoned food that was meant for the bishop, which was mentioned in one of the other notes.
Halt! Why dost thou wear the garment of the mainland order? Dost thou insult thy brethren by forsaking our sacred dress?
Yes, sir, brother. Elder, sir, I've just arrived from the city, sir, and the quartermaster has taken ill, and
Cease thy ramblings at once, and stand straight. The builder's vessels must remain vigilant, ready both in season and out. Thy reckless disregard for thine appearance should be requited on the rack.
Yes, sir, I mean, no, sir, it's just that the order seems very different here in Sunnyport, and I haven't quite yet settled in, sir.
The order, 'tis the same, young convert. 'Tis the outward appearance which seemeth different to thine eye. There art many ways to express the builder's will, some by the hammer, others by the machine. When thou hast dwelt in our midst for the duration, thou shalt learn to judge with right judgment.
Yes, sir, brother. Sir.
Okay, I'm dead.
Sunnyport, ha! By the builder, the sun is surely frightened away by the greed and avarice of these beggarly shopkeepers.
Well, not quite actually. Which, to be honest, is kind of surprising, but I'll take this. I'll take this for sure. Okay, so this goes out again. This is the kitchen. A master of many tools may yet be an apprentice of spiritual matters. Be mindful of thy spirit at all times, lest thou fall into disrepair. Service of the Brotherhood.
shall strike. Feel my blow. I see thee failing there. Dost thou expect to beat me with that?
What was that I heard?
That, good sir, was a mistake on my part.
Frightened.
Sleeping or waking, the biller is there. Guards us his children. Trickster beware.
Thou canst not defeat me with such a puny weapon.
Evidently I can. Okay, there's an elevator right here, which should take me to that. To that part that was locked before.
Always treating me like an invalid. I'll do that for you, brother. Allow me to take your shift, brother. Just because I am the oldest does not mean that I should be coddled. Something is not right here. Stand fast!
Unconscious. Oh well. I'll take this.
Oh.
Okay, before I get out of this area, let's explore all of those rooms. Set aside thy selfish quests and foul deeds. Bring forth not spoiled fruit nor mines. Instead, raise thy gauntlet fists and focus thy energies to tasks not wasted on transient sins of the flesh. First Book of the Wrath. Greenhouse of the cultivated plants. Okay, so before I go in this direction, let's check that last room. Observatory. Okay, so that's neither here nor there actually, because it's supposed to be like in the southwest. High Priest Cavador. Library key. It is now nearly 5 years since the eradication of the filthy smugglers, and that only by the builder's might. But often I wonder to what end, where one form of extortion and theft has been cut out, another has grown atop of it as a scab upon the infected wound. Alas, our order lacks its former strength to stop those evil merchants, their fleecing of innocents by cheap wares and deceitful sales tactics. I have received word from my superiors in the city that the mechanist threat has reached alarming proportions. Our order is now tasked with retrieving the Orb of St. Basmus from its resting place, I cannot imagine what use the orb will be. Basmus was but an old crank, practically a heretic if the tales are true. It's no wonder he was buried far away from the sacred burial sites in the city. I both doubt and fear the powers of the orb, so I shall consider this in due time. Sending good men into that evil mausoleum is the last thing I desire upon my conscience. Upon further reflection, I am troubled that our order finds itself in such a dear proposition as to depend on ancient relics and charms such as this orb. What has become of the once proud tradition of the Hammers? I believe it is slowly crumbling, weakened by those within who refuse to explore new means by which we may serve the builder. I dare not share these thoughts with my brothers, but I write them here, if only to relieve their continual pressing on my soul. I have thought to give ear to the mechanist doctrines, but I fear that their path is destined to apostasy. Perhaps I might obtain some of their writings to examine firsthand. Is it possible that my old phobias have returned? So long have I been able to work unmolested by the fears of contamination that once besieged me, but just this afternoon as I began to eat, the familiar dread came upon me and I was unable to take a single bite. Cook Gill has created a special dish for me, so I regretted to push it away. I was relieved a bit in that Quartermaster Samuel sat nearby and was more than happy to take my portion. Possibly this business with the orb and my recent spiritual struggles have rekindled my anxieties concerning food and environment. Well, no, the food was literally poisoned, and the other guy ate it and died? Onam has been acting strangely this past few days. Does he perhaps know of my malcontentness? Does he suspect that within these very walls I have brought the writings of Karas to study? His doubts concerning my leadership are no secret to me, but lately he seems to follow my every move as a predator of sorts. I loathe the paranoia of these men. Quartermaster Samuel has been locked in his quarters for 3 days now. The man is usually dependable, but perhaps Onam has turned him against me as well, and he is simply avoiding me. The city brethren inquire as to my delay in recovering the orb from the mausoleum. I have selected Brother Onam to lead the retrieval party. With Onam gone, I will be free to make inquiries around the compound and see if he suspects anything. I have asked Brother Arafax to pull the copies of our old maps from the library, along with any pertinent information about the artifacts stored in the mausoleum. Arafax has been locked away with his books for too long, and I fear for his sanity. However, he is fully able to provide any information Onam will need to recover the orb. May the builder make him swift. Now, Cavador is actually a character from Thief 2. He's one of the mechanists, so this is sort of detailing, his sort of fall into the heresy of the mechanists, because as of now he's still a Hammerite, but he's questioning. Okay, I will explore this and the rest of it, but next time, because this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save it here and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!